prepare for meditation. We breathe, we breathe, we breathe, being present to what is. Breathe, my body, breathe, my thoughts, breathe, my feelings, breathe, my relationships, breathe, my life, the world and the universe. We breathe, we're awake. We're awake, breathe, we're alive, breathe, we're conscious, breathe, we're here now. We breathe into the silence, we breathe into the music, music. We breathe into the breath itself. Oh, we breathe. We breathe, we breathe, we breathe, we breathe to what is. Reunite, breathe, my body, breathe, my thoughts, breathe, my feelings, breathe, my relationships, breathe, my life, the world and the universe. We breathe, we're awake. We're alive, breathe, we're alive, breathe, we're conscious, breathe, we're here now. We lean into the silence, we breathe into the music, music. Breathe into the breath itself. Oh, we breathe, oh, we breathe. Oh, we breathe. Oh, we breathe. God breathing itself as us. Oh, we breathe. Oh, we all wake. We breathe, and we all breathe.
It is often said that prayer is when we speak to God, and that meditation is when God speaks to us. In this moment, we simply dissolve the to and the from, and simply know the is. God is. Right here and right now, there is no external force or power that we need to speak to or that needs to speak to us. As our Declaration of Principles says, we believe in the direct revelation of spiritual truth, awareness, and revelations through our own intuitive and spiritual nature. We recognize that because God is all there is, our thoughts are God's thoughts. Our intuition is the universe communicating to itself, through itself, as itself. And so we focus on this truth. As our Declaration of Principles says, we believe in the direct revelation of spiritual truth, awareness, and revelations through our own intuitive and spiritual nature. We recognize that because God is all there is, our thoughts are God's thoughts. Our intuition is the universe, communicating to itself, through itself, as itself. And so we focus on this truth. this inhalation and this exhalation. God breathing itself as us. There is no separation. Only God, this breath, right here, right now. This divine example of yin, yang, inhale, exhale, rise, fall, give, receive, in, out. God breathing itself, this breath, God. This inhale, God. This exhale, God. This entire process of circulation, respiration, God. Which means even this meditation, God. And so we breathe and we know. this inhalation and this exhalation. God breathing itself as us. There is no separation. Only God, this breath, right here, right now. This divine example of yin, yang, inhale, exhale, rise, fall, give, receive, in, out. God breathing itself, this breath, God. This inhale, God. This exhale, God. This entire process of circulation, respiration, God. Which means even this meditation, God. And so we breathe, and we know.
We believe, we believe, this is what we believe. We believe that God is the Almighty living Spirit, absolute oneness, it is indestructible, and as an absolute it is self-existent causation. This one power manifests itself in, through, and as all creation. But it cannot be diminished, lessened, or absorbed by its creation. The manifest universe can be called the body of God. This is the logical and necessary expression of the infinite self-knowingness of God. We believe, we believe, we believe. This is what we believe. Oh, we believe, believe, we believe. Oh, this is what we believe. Ooh, we believe. Oh, we believe that God is the Almighty living Spirit, absolute oneness, it is indestructible, and as an absolute it is self-existent causation. This one power manifests itself in, through, and as all creation. But it cannot be diminished, lessened, or absorbed by its creation. The manifest universe can be called the body of God. This is the logical and necessary expression of the infinite self-knowingness of God. We believe, we believe. This is what we believe. We believe. This is what we believe. We believe.
give. Our consciousness, our being, open at the bottom, open at the top. We're not simply one with God, but we are it itself. It will never stop. SIA, our spiritual center, family and home. It's where we come to practice and remember there is only one life, one mind, one infinite, eternal, self-existent. 'Cause we pause, embodying all that we are. We shine like a glorious star. Our consciousness, our being, open at the bottom, open at the top. We're not simply one with God, but we are it itself. It will never stop. SIA, our spiritual center, family and home. It's where we come to practice and remember there is only one. Spirituality is our way of life. We value laughter, truth and justice. We express artistry as our living practice. So come and join us at SIA. Know you found a community that will love you every day.
Namaste, greetings and blessings, and welcome to the Center for Spiritually Integrated Arts. This is our Sunday message, and I am Reverend Dr. Raymont Anderson, the founder and spiritual director of this center. And I invite you to watch not only this Sunday message, but any of our archived messages. I invite you to join any classes or events that we have going on. I invite you to reach out and email if you have any questions. Questions about this community, questions about me, questions about what we do, or questions about this science of mind and spirit, liberation theology that we practice and teach. And if by chance you find yourself seeking beloved community with other like-minded beings, even if you already belong, are a member of another community, church, or center, you are more than free to have multiple affiliations wherever you are fed and find community. You are invited. And lastly, feel free to click like, subscribe, and share this or any other message or announcements with others in your circle. And with that, much appreciation, love, and blessings. Enjoy the message.
SIA is the place to be. So buckle up, we're making history. And if you are willing, repeat after me. I am love. I am love. I am joy. I am divine. I am divine. Feels good, right? Now today's message begins.
Namaste and greetings, and welcome to June. June. Did you hear what I said? We're in June. This is halfway through the year. Okay, anyhow. The theme for June: higher, deeper love. Which is an interesting paradox because love simply is, and there is no higher or deeper. It's our awareness. We are invited to a linguistic convenience of higher, deeper, in other words, more meaningful, more substantial, more experiential love. Today's title, I Want to Know What Love Is. Many want to know what love is. But what if what we really want to know is how to be what love is? Because that's a very different question. What if we have not allowed ourselves to know that love simply is? Because that would then call us to be more of what love is. What if our ability to let love be present in all situations as us is precisely the very thing that heals ourselves, heals other people, heals places, and heals things? What if? So, are you ready? If you happen to know who that couple is in the window, Abner, she's doing it again. Nonetheless, Miss Kravitz, being the nosy busybody she is, she wants to know the same thing they want to know. Who are these guys outside the window? What is their significance to today's message? You familiar with that song? I want to know what love is. Okay, Tracy, I'm going to stop singing because I know you. I want to know what love is. So what is love? What does it mean? How does it show up in our lives? Because one of the things we talked about last month or back in April, love is not a feeling. It's not a fleeting feeling. Love is God. It's as simple as that. Love is God. Everyone who has witnessed the growth process of a child from the moment of birth, as they move on, sees clearly that before language is known, before the identity of the caretakers is recognized, the babies respond to affectionate care. Usually they respond with sounds or looks of pleasure. And then as they grow older, they respond to affectionate care by giving affection, by cooing at the sight of a welcomed caregiver. Affection is only one ingredient of love. To truly love, we must learn to mix various ingredients: care, affection, recognition, respect, commitment, and trust, as well as honest and open communication. So, just as Bell Hooks talked about how babies show, you know, what do they do? What sounds do they make? There are also signs that will show us that our dog loves us. The dog may wag their tail when they're around you. They'll yawn with you. They make eye contact with you. They may steal your clothes. Any number of things. These are all ways that dogs show that they love us. How do we show that we love us? And wait a minute. What about the question, what are the signs that show you love you? How do you show you that you love you? What is your equivalent of wagging your tail for yourself? Especially because as we love ourselves by default, when it's true love, when it's divine love, loving ourselves will and must include others. One of the best guides to how to be self-loving is to give ourselves the love we are often dreaming about receiving from someone else. Do not expect to receive the love from someone else that you do not give to yourself. What kind of love, what expression of love are we wanting, dreaming, daydreaming, praying about receiving from someone else? Do we do that very thing for ourselves? Now, I know me hugging me it's not the same thing. But what does the hug represent? And to what degree am I doing that for myself? Breathe. So, very often we talk about giving love and receiving love as though it's this thing that we can actually offer to someone. But love is more like yin and yang. It's more like this balance. So, it's not giving and receiving as they are separate activities or somehow that they could even be separated. Love simply is being. That's it. So just like breathing, it's a continuous activity. An inhale, that's not breathing. That's an inhale. That's an exhale. That also is not breathing. Breathing is the inhale, that pause, the exhale, that pause, and the repeat. So giving and giving love, what does it look like when it becomes one? Like breathing. Inhale, exhale, breathing. Giving, receiving love, loving, because love is more than just giving and receiving. Love is being it. And when we are being it, there is no separation between the giving, the receiving. It simply is. The first noble truth says that if you are alive, if you have a heart, if you can realize the life energy that makes everything change and move and grow and die, then you won't have any resentment or resistance. The first noble truth says simply that it's part of being human to feel discomfort. The bad words, bad words, discomfort. We don't like the word discomfort. We do not like any of the pain. We do not like suffering. We do not like these words. We do not like what these things feel like. And it is important to understand that pain and discomfort, they are going to happen. It is by default. You bump your knee, pain. You go to the dentist, there's going to be some discomfort. Suffering, however, is chronic pain and chronic discomfort. It is the lingering of that we can do something about eliminating, per se, because it is possible to physically suffer in certain ways where there's not medical science and whatnot. The only thing they can do is make the person as comfortable as possible as they transition. So to a certain degree, there is a level of suffering that they are doing their best to reduce it simply to discomfort or pain-ish. But generally, we need not suffer, especially when we realize and understand that love can respond in the situation that is causing pain, discomfort, even suffering. So how does love respond? Unconditional love really exists in each of us. It is part of our deep inner being. It's not so much an active emotion as a state of being. It's not, I love you for this or that reason. It's not, I love you if you love me. It's love for no reason at all. Love without object. It's just sitting in and as love. A love that incorporates the chair and the room. A love that permeates everything around us. The thinking mind is extinguished in love. Love becomes the dominant feeling. I don't have time to think God. I feel God. I am God. I am that which is the infinite. I am love made flesh. I don't think it. I know it. Breathe. So as Ram Dass said, there's this idea of unconditional love. By any chance, do any of you speak Greek? Know Greek? Read Greek? You know what that word is in Greek? Okay, I'll give you some help. Agape, love without conditions. As Ram Dass said, love is not transactional. Love does not say, I love you if. Love permeates all. Love incorporates the chair, the room, the ceiling, the floor, the birds, the bees, the roaches, the spiders, the everything. Love simply is. And as the Greeks say, the highest form of love in their philosophy represents selflessness. unconditional and sacrificial love. In the Bible, it is used to describe divine love, which is distinct from or separate from the expression of philia, which is friendship, or some people say brotherly love, eros, romantic love, or sexual love. Fostering compassion, community service, and unconditional care for others is agape, the beloved community. Do we love ourselves unconditionally? No matter our weight, no matter our age, no matter our financial situation, do I still love myself? Am I willing to sacrifice anything that's not life affirming because I love myself so much? Am I willing to be selfless enough to move beyond the ideas of lack and limitation, the labels that have made me say, but I am my job. I am my finances. I am my whatever that is. Am I willing to be selfless enough to be what the capital S self is as me? Moving into a space clearly, both and, because I am the relative self as well, the human self, as well as the absolute. I'm both and. But oftentimes we get caught up in the labels of am I willing to understand myself as more than that self? There is but one ultimate impulsion in the universe. This impulsion is love. This love is more than simply an emotional sentiment, although it must include all such sentiments. It is the pure essence of divine givingness, the pure essence of all that the absolute is, giving itself as us. Excuse me, the way nature gives us an atmosphere that we can live, move, and breathe in. That's divine givingness. The way the earth grows seeds that become vegetation and plants and things that we can consume that nourish our bodies. That is divine givingness. The way water hydrates, that is divine givingness. The way the heart beats, moving the blood, that is divine givingness. There is only one life, and that life gives life to itself, in, through, and as all that there is. And that divine givingness expresses itself in, through, and as us. What does this word impulsion mean to you? If I were to ask you, give me a definition for it. What does it mean for you? Okay. Impulsion refers to the act of propelling something. It's a driving force, a sudden urge or compulsion. Driving force, the primary power, the motivation, the influence behind an action, a system, or an organization. Urge, compulsion, a sudden, strong desire or necessity to act, often sudden and irresistible. There is but one ultimate desire and necessity to act, and this necessity to act, this irresistible necessity to act, is love. This driving force, this motivational power, that it is love. Just saying. So if it is love, how is it, how are we activating it through our love languages? So, whatever the love language is that each of us lives, moves, and has our beingness operating within, how does the love language show up as an irresistible urge, motivation? Do I know my love languages well enough to be able to communicate them in a way? Wait. I'm thinking for a second. This whole love language thing got me befuddled. Think about it. Come back and review this and think about what are your love languages and how well do you communicate them to others or to yourself. In its broadest sense, love is the impartation of the self, the givingness of everything we are or hope to be or have, and giving it in joy and without reservation, in complete abandonment. So, what does that word mean for you? Which what? Oh, impartation. Well, okay, follow me for a second. All of these are examples of what? Okay, yes. Some of you got it. Yes. Teaching, which is a profession facilitating learning by imparting knowledge, skills, and values. Yes. However, did you know that impart means to transmit, to give, to contribute, to pass on? Yes. But did you also know that education, two distinct roots, educare and educere? Do you know the difference between these? Okay, let's dive deeper. The Latin etymology of the word education, primarily combining educare, to train, mold, or nourish, that's more of the impart, and educere, to draw out, to lead out, to bring. Okay, let's keep going. So, in what way are we allowing that which is the all that is to be drawn out of us? Instead of trying to invoke, take what's outside and draw it in, evoke, take what is already within and bring it out. Rather than educate by imparting, which that is certainly part of how we learn. But in terms of this idea for love, oneness, if we keep expecting it to come in and come in and come in, where is the way in which love is drawn out of us, is brought forth from us? Breathe. Infinite love harmonizes a person's entire being. The healing currents of life flow through them, adjusting their whole physical being to the idea of divine harmony. We talked about harmonizing a couple of months ago, a couple of weeks ago, something like that. But this idea of harmonizing, We're all probably familiar with the concept of a tuning fork and how it's used, but how are we harmonizing? What is our method of tuning, tapping into, becoming more aware of, harmonizing with the unity of oneness? How are we bringing the different elements of our being, the different elements into a space of agreement and compatibility that is pleasing and life affirming? For example, how do we take politics, education, the medical profession, the judicial system? Let's just go there first. How do we take those, harmonize them, bringing different elements into agreement, into compatibility, into a pleasant, pleasing, life affirming agreement with one another? How do we, using Science of Mind and Spirit 4.0, weave that thread so that each of these is a demonstration of what it means to be in harmony and a demonstration of peacefulness? Just as people use tuning forks as tools for healing, not just pianos and guitars, but it's also used for physical, emotional, spiritual healing. What is our method of tuning, fine tuning, harmonizing ourselves into life affirming and pleasant agreement with ourselves as divine expressions of God? The principle of love is not to be confused with mere sentimentality. Although all forms of love are aspects of it, it is the great transforming power which brings everything into harmony. It is the unifying principle, the creative element, the motivating power of all that is fine and noble in life. In metaphysical treatment, it is the healing force. The principle of love is the healing force. The principle of love is the transforming power, the unifying power, the motivating power. The principle of love, the principle of God. Do not confuse it with mere sentimentality. Sentimentality is the excessive and often indulgent expression of tender emotions such as nostalgia, pity, prioritizing feeling over logic or over reality. Sentiment, however, is an authentic emotion, and you encounter it anytime a story makes you laugh or cry, get angry, or otherwise truly feel something as a result of your immersion into the story. Let's look at a couple extra examples of what this means. Each of these men throughout cinematic history and probably even beyond the cinema have become representations of the macho man, the man who acts but does not feel, the man who is valued based upon their ability to act, not feel. They ain't have time to cry. Grown men don't cry. Dirty Harry doesn't cry. Dirty Harry ain't got no time to be all sentimental about stuff. He's too busy fighting and shooting. And how many
young men grew up trying to be this? How many young women grew up wanting their boyfriends or husbands to be this? Now, where on the spectrum would we say? If sentiment is in the middle, distortion by lack of sentiment, or distortion by excess of sentiment. This archetype is the distortion by lack of. So, what about the excess? Well, first, keep in mind, sentiment is authentic emotion. Sentimentality occurs when, this example is the reader or the watcher of the film, television show, is trying to evoke emotion, but they fail to do so. Like the gentleman we just saw. Right? Like there's an emotion that's like just beneath the surface, but it's not coming through because there's this mask of bravado and I don't even know what word that is, but okay. Okay. The other side of this is, as it said before, the overly nostalgic. Remember when gas was only 15 cents a gallon? Can we go back to a simpler time of, when you could leave your car door unlocked or your house unlocked and your neighbors would, keep an eye out of your children and make sure they're okay, and neighbors greeted people, and someone moved into a neighborhood and everyone would greet and welcome them to the neighborhood. Can we get back to that era? And then there's the sentimentality where children are spoiled. They're given everything they want. And then there's the sentimentality of, once again, this is the excess, where it is so sugary sweet. It's all about love, 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 love. But it's not real love. It's overly sweet. It's performative. Have you ever seen someone talk about God as the angry, and this is the anthropomorphic God, the angry, judgmental, distortion by lack? God as, oh, God is love, and God is good, and everything's good, distortion by excess, versus being grounded in the center. Grounded in the center that says God, love is God, one and the same. What it is, I am. Now, how does that show up? What does that sentiment call me to be and do in the world? We study, we integrate, and we apply the Science of Mind and Spirit 4.0 by contemplating what love means for us and what love as us looks like. What does love as you do in the world? What or how does love as you show up, especially as it relates to those who may not be in the space or those who are not being permitted to speak? I know, I see the typo. Pause for a second. So what does that mean? How does love as you show up, especially as it relates to those who may not be in the space? In other words, how are you advocating? There are no deaf people in the space. Do you advocate? There are no people who have mobility issues in the space. How does love as you advocate? Speak up for. There are no Black people in the space. How does love as you advocate for? How does love as the 21st century New Thought Good Samaritan serve and create a world that works for all? Study, integrate, and apply. Breathe. This week's affirmation, our declaration, I will say it first, and if it resonates with you, if you agree with it, I invite you to repeat after me the second time. I celebrate all that I am as the fullest expression of love. Together. I celebrate all that I am as the fullest expression of love. And so it is. This week's practice, whether it's the Thursday night study group or your own personal journal. Number 1, how well do I know and practice the love languages? If you do not remember them, I invite you to go back and look at them again and answer the question. Number 2, in what ways have I, or in what ways do I still deny myself love in any form? Number 3, what do I need to do to allow myself to give, receive, and be love? Number 4, how has or how does unconditional love improve the quality of my life? Or maybe we could ask, how could it improve? Number 5, how can I practice harmonizing my life, imparting love and drawing out love in order to facilitate greater healing? And lastly, what currently causes pain, discomfort, and suffering in my life? And what practices, what do I do? What are my practices that give me the ability to address both the cause and the effect? And let's do a 6A. When I look into the world and all of the things that are happening, what is causing global pain, societal pain, political pain, discomfort, and suffering? And what is my practice, or how can my practice address both the cause and the effect of that condition? Breathe. To continue the practice, reword or remix the passage in the Bible that is in 1 Corinthians 13, 4 through 8, that references love is. Love is patient, love is kind, that passage. How would you state this Bible verse in a Science of Mind and Spirit 4.0 remixed kind of way? Breathe. As we enter into that space of infinite awareness, prayer, simply acknowledging and recognizing the all that is, the divine, love, God, the one mind, the thing itself, love and law, and recognizing that all of what it is some aspect of all that we are. Love and law shows up in how I live, move, and have my being. It shows up in how I create. It shows up in how I live, how I think, how I speak, how I feel, what I do. Love, the giving, the receiving, the being. It shows up in how I am grateful when I have a meal or laugh. Do my best to be the expression of joy and happiness. When I have conversation with my children, grandchildren, neighbors, the neighbors' dogs, all of this is an opportunity for love to impart and draw out. How do I impart love on them? How do I draw love out of myself? How are they imparting love to me? Drawing love out of themselves. And ultimately, how are all of these things working together, harmonizing together to create a world that truly works for all? It means being honest and being real with the pain, the discomfort, and the suffering, individually and collectively in all areas of life, political, educational, judicial, all of them. How am I invited and called as the very presence of love, the active principle of love, to be the agent of change, transformation, and healing? And so I breathe and I sit in this space of questioning, this space of being, the space of being breathed by the infinite. And what comes to my mind is remembering the "we believe" statement that says, we believe in the direct revelation of truth through our intuitive and spiritual nature, and that anyone may be a revealer of truth. A revealer to bring out the truth, who lives in close contact with this indwelling, all-dwelling presence of God that is. And so I sit, trusting and knowing that the answer is already present in the question. Love is already present. A world that works for all is already present. And the law acts accordingly. The Amen is already in motion and already demonstrating. And so I breathe and do what is mine to do. And so it is. And so it is. Much love, much appreciation, continued blessings. Happy June, happy Pride Month. Be well, be blessed, and I will see you soon.
Today's message is complete, something to believe, a seed of truth that we can practice if we choose to receive. As we take the science of mind and spirit for corridor to every corner of the world where the healing needs to go. We know it's not a secret, can't block behind a door. It's the wisdom that we're living, and love is what we share it for. Now step into the world, be a healing, hopeful beacon. You're walking the path and offering to all who may be seeking. Know it, practice it, live it every day. That's how we heal the consciousness. We wash the ignorance away. Time to heal the world and make the vision come true. No more waiting for someone else to do what we can do. Take the teaching out into the busy street, to every stranger and every soul you meet. Dedication to liberation is the key we hold. A story of freedom that's waiting to be told. Right where you are is holy ground. Feel into your rhythm and the sacred sound. You're an incarnation of the divine. You're holy, powerful, and good. And you are called to be that in the world and do what only you could. Know it, practice it, live it every day. That's how we heal the consciousness. We wash the ignorance away. Time to heal the world and make the vision come true. No more waiting for someone else to do what we can do. With gratitude, love, and a joy so deep, we have principles, practices, and promises we're all gonna keep. Be the change that you want to see. Unlock the chains and set all life free. From the heart of the city to the jungles and open plains, breaking the cycles of oppression and its heavy chains. It's a revolution of the body, the mind, and the soul. Mending, making, and manifesting the broken parts now finally whole. Know it, practice it, live it every day. That's how we heal the consciousness. We wash the ignorance away. Time to heal the world and make the vision come true. No more waiting for someone else to do what we can do. With gratitude, love, and a joy so deep, we have principles, practices, and promises we're all gonna keep. Right where you are sacred. Right where you are, shining so bright. Right where you are, the divine is expressing. Right where you are, life. So live it every day. Make the vision now come sing. In divine is not far off watching. It is incarnating itself as you. Have an amazing week and know that you are loved.